You know, I can't think of a vehicle that better speaks to the state of Stellantis than the Jeep Cherokee, and I don't just mean this all-new 2026 version, I mean the model itself. Because don't forget, this is sort of the SUV that created the SUV segment, in particular, the sort of crossover segment. Back when it launched in 1984, it was a unibody SUV, a little more driver-friendly than the Wrangler. It was kind of the archetype of what an SUV would become. A crossover like the Cherokee became later, the Toyota RAV4, the Honda CR-V. You know the ones I'm talking about. And then Jeep just let it go away a couple years ago, which is so puzzling to me because it is probably the most important segment in North America. I mean, I know pickup trucks are the best sellers, but there are fewer of them. When you look at the market as a whole, based on volume as well as the number of competitors out there, well, small crossovers like this one matter a whole bunch. So the fact that this brand that likes to boast about its SUV heritage just let the most important one go away without a replacement is very bizarre, and it's kind of on brand for the company. So in that sense, it's nice to see the Cherokee is back, and it's also a hybrid this time. Now, it's a bit of a unique setup, but it pairs a 1.6 liter four-cylinder engine that's turbocharged with two electric motors that are housed within the continuously variable transmission. So yes, it's a dual electric motor setup, just like Toyota uses, but the actual fundamentals of it are a bit different since those motor generators are in the transmission housing. Now, yes, that also means this thing is a little bit more like the Honda CR-V or the Ford Escape hybrid in that it still has a mechanical drivetrain, because Toyota uses an electric motor in the back to power the rear wheels, and then it uses a set of electric motors up front to drive what's going on up front. This still uses a mechanical setup. It can also disconnect and run in front-wheel drive to maximize efficiency. So it's got kind of a foot in both camps. Overall, the performance is decent. Now it makes a net 210 horsepower to go with 230 pound-feet of torque, which is competitive on paper, but I will tell you this much. When you get your foot down, there is a noticeable lag in the communication between the throttle pedal and what's happening under the hood. So when you want a little bit more, well, you are going to have to wait for it. But then again, this is a hybrid, and that means it's about efficiency first and foremost. So what should you expect? 6.4 liters per 100 kilometers combined is what Jeep is quoting, which makes it competitive with most hybrids this size. I mean, yeah, the redesigned Toyota RAV4 does a little bit better, but the rest of the gang, well, they're right there in the same range. Now, the overall drive, it's not bad. I will say the suspension, it's a little floaty, it wallows a little bit. The steering, a big problem in sort of comfort mode or even normal. Totally lifeless, and I don't want sporty steering, but I would like some semblance of feel, because especially low-speed parking lot maneuvers, it's kind of hard to remember what position the wheels are in because there's just nothing going on, no connection whatsoever between what's in your hands and what is underneath the vehicle. Now, if you do put it in sport mode, firms up just a little bit, it's a little nicer, and yes, you can get a better sense of which direction the wheels are pointed. So I like that. A little noisy, especially on the highway, these precast concrete highways out here in California. Well, when you're cruising along at highway speed, you will notice just a little more wind, road, and tire noise than you would maybe like, especially in a hybrid that's supposed to be kind of tranquil. It's also sort of expensive. Now, starting price, about 42 grand in Canada before tax, and then it works its way up from there through, I don't know, 5 trims. It tops out with this one I'm driving, which is the Overland, and it is $56,000 before tax. Not terrible, but it's still a considerable sum. I do want to give Jeep credit. The exterior design, I'm still not entirely sold on it, but this interior is very nice. I really like how low the dash is. I get some serious Wagoneer S vibes in here. This, I don't know, 12.3 inch touchscreen. It's bright, but it's nice and low. It's out of the way. It's not distracting. My bigger issue in here has to be this steering wheel, and I actually really like the look of it. I like that it's flat on the bottom and top, and yes, even on the sides, but it is so fat. It's like a BMW steering wheel. It feels like you're holding one of those fat grip putters, and I really don't like it. I just can't really settle in behind the wheel. not really loving that. But overall, I mean, first of all, it's good to see Jeep back in the segment for its own survival. The fact that it's a hybrid, I think, is a good thing. The fact that Jeep is keeping an open mind that it may bring back a gas-only version, or who knows what else down the road, maybe even a plug-in or an all-electric version, because this is built on its Stella platform, the same one that underpins the all-electric Dodge Charger. Now, I suppose we should talk about the dimensions, and in keeping with industry standard, this thing is bigger than the old one in just about every measure. It's, I don't know, roughly 5 inches longer from bumper to bumper. The wheelbase is 6.5 inches longer or so, and that translates to more cargo room. Now, here's the interesting point. There is no extra second row legroom. There's actually about an inch less, although it's wider inside. There's more hip room and shoulder room. I can sit behind myself, no problem, and I always remind you guys I'm about 6'4", so the fact that I can fit back there without issue is impressive, even if the numbers don't reflect as much on paper. I also want to talk about the cargo area. There's 952 liters behind the second row seats. That's up from something like 730 last time. These are the things that customers specifically asked for. They wanted a more efficient model. Well, you get that with this hybrid powertrain. They wanted more cargo room. Well, there's that too. They wanted more technology. Well, you've got this screen and all kinds of advanced safety tech. I mean, I do think Jeep has done a decent job of this, even if it took it longer than it should have.